Ladies and gentlemen, Bay Meadows proudly presents the field for the San Francisco Handicap, a Grade 3 stake. Number 1 is Journalism. He has earned more than $500,000. Journalism is owned by Richard Stephen, trained by Wally Dollase, and ridden by Russell Baze. Number 2 is Seahawk Gold. Seahawk Gold has earned more than $300,000. He's owned by Rollo Eklund, trained by Jan Booth, and ridden by Van Belvoir. Number 3 is the French-bred Ranger. Ranger is 2 for 2 on the Bay Meadows grass course. He's owned by Frank Lonergan. Jeff Bondi is the trainer, and in the saddle is Adalberto Lopez. Number 4 is Stark South. Stark South is the top money earner in the field, having earned almost $800,000. He's owned by Patricia Elia. John Russell is the trainer, and in the saddle is Ron Warren Jr. Number 5 is Firm Pledge. Firm Pledge is seeking 3 consecutive victories. He's owned by Fahad Salman. Neil Drysdale is Firm Pledge's trainer, and the jockey is Thomas Chapman. Number 6 is Nicky Zemer. Nicky Zemer, a recent claim for $62,500, is owned by the popular radio program in Southern California, Inside Track. Robert Marshall is the trainer, and Victor Espinoza rides Nicky Zemer. And number 7 is Emerald Jig. Emerald Jig has earned almost $200,000 this year. He is owned by the Tricar Stables. Jose Silva trains Emerald Jig, and the jockey is Rafael Meza. That's the lineup for this, the Grade 3 San Francisco Handicap. They'll be at the post in less than 7 minutes. They're all in line. And they're racing in the San Francisco Handicap. Seahawk Gold and Journalism on the inside show pace. So does Firm Pledge, and Stark South in the red sleeves is in 4th. Ranger drops back in the blue. Emerald Jig next to him. And Nicky Zemer at the tail, 10 lengths off, under the wire for the first time. And Tom Chapman and Firm Pledge going to dictate the pace with less than 7 furlongs to go. Journalism right outside of him, 3/4 off. Then it's 2 back to Seahawk Gold, another 2 to Stark South. Emerald Jig now 7 lengths off. Another 2 back is Ranger, and Nicky Zemer at the back of a well-strung out field. 6 furlongs to go in the San Francisco, and the leader is Firm Pledge, gliding along with a 2.5 length lead to Journalism. Seahawk Gold is in 3rd. Then it's 2 back to Stark South. Another 3 is Emerald Jig, who is now 9 lengths from the front. Nicky Zemer and Ranger are at the tail. Less than a half to go, and it's Firm Pledge slowing down. Tom Chapman just took a peek back to see where Journalism is, and he's in 2nd. Seahawk Gold is in 3rd on the inside of Stark South. Then it's 2 more back to Emerald Jig, another 4 to Ranger and Nicky Zemer. On the far turn in the San Fran, and it is Firm Pledge by 3/4. Journalism is under a ride. Seahawk Gold on the inside, then it's Stark South and Emerald Jig swinging for home, and it's Firm Pledge leading by a length and a half. Journalism tries to wear him down on the outside, then it's Seahawk Gold, Ranger from behind. To the final furlong, it's Journalism and Firm Pledge. Journalism to the outside of Firm Pledge. Journalism and Russell Baze just in front. Firm Pledge fights back. Journalism a nose to Firm Pledge in the San Fran. Seahawk Gold 3rd. We have a photo finish. Please hold all tickets. The final time for a mile and a 16th, 1:40.94. Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to direct your attention to the winner's circle. Making the presentation of a trophy to the winning connections of today's San Francisco Handicap is Jack Liebau, the president and CEO of the Bay Meadows Operating Company. And now in the winner's circle for the third consecutive time is Journalism. Journalism is a 6-year-old brown gelding by Publicity out of Knowledgeable Lady. He's owned by Richard Stephen, trained by Wally Dollase, whose assistant is Craig Dollase. And winning his third race today is Russell Baze. Journalism was bred in California by the Old English Rancho. The winning $2 exacta on 1 and 5 paid $13.40. Coming up momentarily from the Bay Meadows winner circle will be Intertrack commentator Jamie O with an interview with one of the winning members of today's San Francisco Handicap. Jamie O coming up momentarily from Bay Meadows.
Yeah, come on. All right, we're in the paddock with Russell Baze after the San Francisco Handicap, winning aboard Journalism. Russ, I got a feeling that was a little tighter than you wanted.
Well, yeah, at the head of the lane, I thought I was going to run right by that horse and win easy, and I was actually watching for Emerald Jig at the head of the lane. When I got up head and head with that Firm Pledge, he dug in tough and made it a real horse race all the way to the wire.
Yeah, it's funny about horse races like this. You think that what you're going to have to do is hold off Emerald Jig, and here Stark South, he just, Firm Pledge just keeps going. That's a tough horse.
Yeah, he dug in real tough, you know, and you sure can't fault the race he ran today.
Now, you worked this horse the other morning. Tell us briefly how that went.
Well, we just took him out to get a look at the track, you know, and go a nice easy 3/8, and he was gawking around and really did about what we wanted. We just kind of wanted to 2-minute lick him around there and let him get a good look at the track, and that's one reason I kind of kept busy on him a little bit through the lane just to make sure I had his attention all the way.
And it looked like you did get after him a little bit, just a little bit down the lane, but mostly it was a hand ride, and you looked like you felt pretty confident once you got past the 16th pole.
Well, yeah, he was digging in and holding that horse off, you know, and after he held him for a while, I was pretty sure he'd be able to hold him to the wire, you know, so I just kept his attention, made sure he stayed to it.
Well, you got a way of keeping people's attention, especially here at the racetrack. You started off slow this meet, but you're coming along nicely the last few days. Got to be happy.
Yeah, I'm real happy the way it's going right now.
All right, well, get back out there. You got to ride another one. Russell Baze, winning rider here in the San Francisco Handicap, and Wally Dollase. Wally? I think Wally's in the midst of an interview. All right, I'll tell you what. We'll come on back after the next. Well, no, here's Wally. I got him. Wally, congratulations. A little closer than you probably would have liked, but still a nice race.
It's okay. That was great. I couldn't be happier because this is my old hometown here. San Francisco. I was raised right over here in Belmont, and I love to win a race here.
Russell mentioned that the other morning that he worked him, and he said he was kind of pricking his ears and, you know, looking around a little bit. So he wanted to make sure that he had this horse's attention down the lane. He only hit him a couple of times with the stick, but a vigorous hand ride.
Definitely, right. And I think he gave that horse a little, you know, he thought that horse was going to come back, I'll guarantee you, before he did. And that horse didn't come back. He ran a very big race, Firm Pledge. And as a result, we were very lucky to win that race.
Now, the next spot for this particular horse, any ideas? Might come back here?
Yet. Actually, I'll have to play it by ear because when you ship like this, it takes a little more out of them than, you know, being on their home base.
You could always just leave him here.
Well, I could, but I doubt if I'm going to do that. Actually, Cal Cup is probably, maybe even be his next race because I want to make sure he's fresh and good for that. And last year I didn't do that well. I ran third in the race, and And I think I can do real well this year.
Well, 2 for 2 here today. Maybe I ought to come up more often.
That's a lot of fun. I'll be up anytime I think I can take some of your San Francisco money. I'm going to do it.
Okay, Wally Dollase, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, let's go back and take a look at the replay.